Good morning, everybody. It's really early, so I'm talking quite quietly. Okay, you guys wanted me to do this design with the gels. I have my flexi finger. It has arrived. If you want a full video on it, then let me know in the comments and I will show you everything. Basically, I've done two tips. This one I've sculpted and this one I've used a tip. I've done two tips. I told you it's early, it's like 5 AM. So I'm going to show you how I did the sculpted one. So I'm just going to remove the fingers I'm not using so they don't get in the way. This is so helpful. I'm going to be able to do so many more videos for you guys now. I'm so excited. Okie dokie. So I was planning on doing two, but my phone ran out of storage, so I'm only going to do one, and I'm going to keep it in real time apart from the filing. I've got this tile because on young nails they were saying when you use hard gels, it might be easier to wipe it off on a tile. I've also got my MIG Nails and Beauty No. 4 gel brush. It does go quite rounded at the top actually, it's got gel on it, so it's gone a bit pointy. I'm also using the Glitter Fairy Comet Dots in Shazam. They are stunning. Oh my lord. And I've also got her gem tray, which I'm pouring the glitter into. I've got this from Femme Fatale Nails, which I use for isopropyl alcohol. It's like a push down. It's brilliant. And the top's it sort of snaps shut, so there's no chance of spilling. I've got my stalk scissors. Can't remember where I got those from actually. Just some lint-free pads and a rough old brush. And my nail forms, which are also from eBay. Oh, and my Glitter Planet files, which are still going strong. Okay, I want to show you this. This is number 51 from MIG. I'm not using it today. I bought it the other day. It's stunning. It's a really nice colour. So I thought I'd show you. I've also got their nail prep and their acid primer, but I'm obviously not using those today. This is what I'm using today. Their Cover Pink, which is called Makeup. It's super thick, just does not move. And their Strong Clear Builder Gel, which again, it sort of self-levels, but it's very slow. Now these nails, if you look, I'll show you a little trick. Obviously they come out, so it's really easy to just replace it and do another design. See? Just use full well tips. You can get those off eBay or AliExpress. And just pop them back in, but don't pop it all the way, leave it there for a second and then do your filing, because with gel you need to take the shine off of the surface. I've sped up the filing because really who wants to watch that? So you're going to take the shine off of the surface of the nail, but it's so much easier if you pull it out first, leave a bit of extra nail in the cuticle area, because then when you push it back in it's going to be proper tight up to the cuticle. Did I say proper? I've got teenagers, so if I say things a certain way it's their fault. Just gonna put some isopropyl alcohol on my brush and brush all the dust away. These fingers are super easy to clean, they clean up really nicely, and then just slide it in. When I first saw this, it actually made my knees go funny. Look at this glitter in the tray. Oh my lord, I adore it. I've had it for, I don't know, a year. Okay, so I've got my form. I'm just going to stick the tab on the back to give it a bit of rigidity. I'm going to roll it. Now look, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I did a basic gel course, so I'm not trained in sculpting gel, and this is only the second time I've done it. The first time was on the other finger. So if I'm not very fast, that's why. But I mean, I sculpt acrylic, so I just kind of applied similar logic with a different product, I guess. But I wanted to show you both ways. I just couldn't record the tip applying, but it's kind of the same thing. Obviously now I would use those two products on a client, but I'm not. Because, oh, her name's Felicia, by the way, Felicia the Flexi Finger. So I'm going to go in and just cut the sides of the form just to give it that tight fit. These new forms that I've seen at Glitter Planet, nail mate forms, they look like you don't need to cut them, I think they're already done, so that would be good. I'm gonna build the free edge first, so the extension, and I kind of went in as a reverse method and then turned my brush around because I just felt really clumsy. The point where the tip goes onto the form is kind of where you need the most strength. You can file it down to even it out, but just because I'm going to build it super thin and I don't want it to snap. I'm always keeping my brush in contact with the gel. I haven't actually done gel nails since just after I qualified, which is 5 years ago this year, I think it will be. So I kind of qualified in gel and acrylic and then just did acrylic. But I'm loving gel, actually. I feel like it's like riding a bike. So I'm just trying to neaten up those sides, pull the product round. It does self-level, just not super fast. I haven't tried any other hard gels yet, so if there's any you would recommend, if you're a hard gel tech, let me know. I do like this. I'm not having any problems with it, and it's super clear. But I would like, the cover pink does not self-level at all. So if you know any that might be a bit easier, then that would be helpful. Okay, so I've cured that for 2 minutes in my new Sun 4 lamp. If you want to see that, let me know as well. But it's just a lamp. It's a UV lamp. I'm going to remove the form, and I'm just going to put the base layer of gel onto the nail now itself, and it's very thin because they didn't have any base coat. So I asked some advice on what I should do, and I was advised to just apply a thin layer of the strong gel and then cure that for 2 minutes. I'm also, while I'm there, I'm thickening up that seam line where the two join because it is quite thin. Well, it's paper thin, and I don't want to snap it during filing because after this I will slightly perfect the shape. I'm really impressed with the MIG colour gel, I must say, and the price point is great. And these tester pots, I think they were about £4 something for the strong gel and the makeup gel, £4 each. So I've cured that for 2 minutes. I'm taking off the tacky layer because I'm actually going to file this. Look how clear that is. So I'm actually going to file it and just get a basic shape, which is why I strengthened that line. There's no point in me continuing to build product onto a shape I don't want. It's a waste of product and it causes more filing time at the end. Now I'm sure I will speed up with experience, practice with gels. If you see dust on the end of the flexi finger, it's not me filing the flexi finger, it is just dust, it brushes off. But gel is a lot easier to file, so it's a lot more dusty. Again, put my brush in the isopropyl alcohol and give it a wipe. There you go. Okay, now I'm going in with the Builder Gel in Makeup. This is so thick. It's so thick, but the colour is perfect. It looks natural. It doesn't look artificial at all. I mean, I've got it on my hand. With the thumb you can see there, and it does not look artificial. So I'm just rolling that onto the nail. And then I use the pillowing technique and slight circles. I've tried doing the side to side drag with things, I'm just not as comfortable doing that. So this is the technique I feel comfortable with. Sorry if my voice sounds a bit funny as well, I've got a bit of a flare up at the moment, so my throat always, the glands in my throat always get quite bad if I get a bit of arthritis flare. So there's my first layer down. Now the reason I'm feathering it down to the tip is because that's where our glitter's going to be, so I don't want to build up too much bulk. So I want the nail bed area to be this beautiful natural colour, and then I want it to blend out and feather out into the tip, which is easier with acrylic than it is with gel, but to be honest, I didn't have any problems, it's just I'm a bit slower. And then I just literally drag it down like that. It's not even, it's not perfect, but this does not self-level, so it makes it quite tricky. So I'll cure this for 2 minutes, and then I will actually file it and just perfect it again. So I'm adding a bit more here, just to build up that area and fill the gaps. One thing I've noticed with gel, which I forgot happened, is that sometimes you can get towards the end of the design and you notice there's like gaps where there might have been an air bubble that popped. So it's always worth filing and checking, because the dust starts to show any divots, and then you can just go back in and fill them. So you see, that's the technique I prefer, tiny circles and kind of pillowing. That might just be how I work best with this gel. I haven't tried any others yet, so couldn't tell you. But I would like to do more gel work, absolutely, because I really enjoy it. And I don't have the fumes, so nobody's moaning at me. Okay, so that's going in the lamp for 2 minutes, and then I'm removing the tacky layer. And then I'm filing again. Now, I must admit, the tip does move about a bit if you don't secure it with your fingers. So, as you can see, it's starting to move down now. But it's not the end of the world. I'm just glad I've got a practice hand. I'm not going to file too much off here. I just want to even it out a little bit. Make sure there's not too many lumps and bumps, because although it's going to have builder gel and whatnot on top of it, you know, it just makes the end result easier to achieve. And then another wipe over. Just push that tip back. There we are. And I'm going to apply some strong gel. Now I've sped this up because I took my time placing these dots. I apply the strong gel. I do not cure it. It's just a thin layer to use like a glue. And then I individually apply these dots where I want them. And I have sped it up significantly because, damn, I'm slow. Because I wanted it, you know, the way I want it. I just didn't want to stick it on. Now you could mix this if you had a more gel than I've got. You could use your tile and actually mix your own glitter gel. That wouldn't be a problem at all, and then you could apply it that way. I went in this way because, number one, I don't have a lot of gel, and I don't have a storage pot if I've got any left over, so it seems wasteful. So there we are, I'm just shoving them on where I want them, kind of doing a glitter fade. They're so beautiful, and I don't use them enough. It's like I have so many glitters that I've bought and I haven't used yet. So once I've done this, I'll cure it for 2 minutes. Some of them still were a bit loose, but never mind. I'm then going to start capping. So I'm going to do one thin layer, kind of like a slip layer. Again, circles, gentle, don't push down with the brush. That's when you start kind of gouging it out and scooping it around. So you just be super gentle and don't rush, you don't need to. This does self-level, this clear gel. So that makes it a bit easier, and it is very, very thick, but it does self-level. Although some of the glitter might move about a little bit, this generally, the curing part holds it sort of in place. I mean, I've had mine on for a few days now. I've not had any lifting, I've not had any discoloration or anything like that. They're fabulous, really happy with it. Again, I know my technique is different to some people's, but I really can't. I really struggle with that side to side to side kind of window wiper technique. I don't know why. I've never enjoyed doing it that way, so I just kind of do it my way. I try, look, and then I'm like, oh no, I hate it, I can't do it. Just not comfortable with it. But the way I see it is if you get the gel on the nail, right, and it's fine, and there's no structural problems, and it looks good, then it doesn't really matter. Just get it on there and get it looking good. And now I'm just building up, because I've got my apex in, but I noticed there was a bit of a dip afterwards. I'm trying again. Look, I just hate that technique. I can't do it. So I try my best. Just shows though you don't have to be a super pro at gel to get a really cute looking design. This is a lovely design. And it's the thing is, glitter gels, some of the brands that I've seen a lot of on YouTube are expensive, right? This raw glitter from the Glitter Fairy is not expensive. I think it was like £1.50 or £2, no more than £2 for that pot. Now that's I've had that for ages. That's gonna do a lot of applications, and you can mix it with any gel you want. So for me, it's business-wise makes more sense. So I'm constantly checking the structure. The gel does not really move about that much on its own, so I've got time. I'm checking all the bits of glitter. I know where I'm going to file, so I know where I need to just make sure I've got enough there, so I'm not going to file into the glitter. And I'm just constantly checking from every angle. And also afterwards you'll see I take the finger off, I tilt it upside down, and I look, and if I see any raised areas that shouldn't be there, I just drag it and disperse of it evenly across the nail, connecting that apex up. I did find using the tile a lot easier, by the way, because there were no little bits of material. So once that's cured for 2 minutes in a UV lamp, I'm again removing the sticky layer, and then we're going to do some refined filing. I always do sidewall, free edge, and then deal with the kind of shape of the nail, cuticle area, and I like this style, having the file flat and going around, because then I can really curve down those edges and up to the apex. And then remove the tacky layer again, check for any imperfections. If there's any imperfections you don't want, you can go back in, do a final layer of gel. Tightening up those sidewalls, tightening up that free edge. I also took the finger off and held it from client's perspective and then did the free edge again. It's really worth taking the time on your filing. I find that when I'm on camera, I always get a little bit nervous and cock things up. It's quite funny. Right, so I'm going in with my no white top coat, just applying that, and then the nail sort of pings back to life again, and then I cure again for 2 minutes in UV. Or LED, it's I think it's 1 minute in LED. I've got both lamps, but I had my UV out, so I was just being lazy. There we are. So this is the finished version, and I noticed something. I mean, it's a beautiful nail, and the glitter just looks amazing. And as you see, that nail bed colour is not too fake at all. But look at this, right? Okay, the nail on the right hand side, this one, I used a tip, and I feel that there's more clarity in that one than the two sculpted nails. I don't know if you'll agree. I just feel there's more clarity in that. And these two look a little bit duller. I don't know if anyone knows why. I will do some research and try and find out why. But there we are, that's the finished design. I will be doing the blue mermaid design in the next few days as well. So thank you for watching. Bye!